Namaste, my friend, and welcome to class 10. Last class, while building the simplification ladder, we took our first taste of rounding. Just a few minutes of it. Today, that taste becomes a complete system, approximation. The questions that literally say, approximately equals what, and quietly beg you not to calculate exactly. First, a small story. In her mock, Ria made a question full of ugly decimals. 39.97% of 649.9. She honestly began computing the exact value, 90 seconds gone. And the answer? The nearest option was exactly what smart rounding would have given her in 20 seconds. Understand the heart of this chapter. That ugliness is not a threat. It is an invitation. The examiner is telling you, round freely, I have placed the options far apart. Today we learn to read that invitation, accept it, and cash it. The contract, the 4 rules, the anchor bank, 3 work shapes, the shortcuts, and the traps. Take a slow breath, batchmate, let us begin. So what will you carry home from today's class? First, the approximation contract. The approximately flag flying over the question, and the spacing between the options. Together they tell you exactly how hard to round. Second, the 4 rounding rules, friendly anchors, 1 pass, direction balance, and the roughly 2% error budget. Third, the anchor bank, the percent fraction weapons, and the perfect squares and cubes that every ugly number parks under. Fourth, 3 worked pike shapes, plain arithmetic, percentage, and roots and powers, all 3 solved in the head, not on paper. And fifth, the 10% ladder, pair adjusted division, the traps that charge minus 0.25, and a time drill. Ready? One idea at a time. First, learn to read the question before touching it. Approximation is a contract between the examiner and you, and it has 4 clauses. Clause 1. The approximately flag. The question openly says approximate value and deliberately prints ugly decimals 24.97, 1599.9. That ugliness is not a threat. It is an invitation, written permission to round. Clause 2. The options are your ruler. If the options are 200, 400, 600, round hard. If the options are 435, 440, 445, keep a light hand and stay semi-exact. The spacing of the options sets the depth of your rounding always. Clause 3. Where this chapter lives. Inside the simplification block of every prelims sit 3 to 5 approximation questions. 20 to 30 seconds each, pure speed marks with 0 concept load. And clause 4. The mindset. You are not solving to the last digit. You are steering to the nearest option. Estimation here is not a compromise. Estimation is the answer. Now, the 4 rules. The ones that turn rounding from instinct into discipline. Rule 1. The nearest friendly anchor. Round every number to the closest number your tables already know. 2t4.97 becomes 2t5. 63.89 becomes 64. 1599.9 becomes 1600. And every move stays within about 2% of the original. That is your error budget. Rule 2. 1 pass. Round everything first, the whole expression, in one breath, then calculate exactly once. Re-rounding in the middle of a calculation stacks silent layers of error, and the options will not forgive them. Rule 3. Direction, in multiplication and addition, balance up with down, so the errors cancel each other. But division is the opposite house. Move the numerator and the denominator in the same direction, then the ratio stays honest. And rule 4. Never overround. 798 becomes 800, never 1000. Choose the nearest anchor, not the laziest. Overrounding is exactly how a correct method arrives at a wrong option. Now, the anchor bank. The parking spots where every ugly number belongs. The first account, the percent fraction bridge. 25% is 1/4. 33.3% is 1/3. 66.6% is 2/3. 12.5% is 1/8. 16.67% is 1/6. Inside every ugly percent hides a keen fraction. Pull it out. The second account, square parking. The square root of 626. Park it under the nearest perfect square, 625. The answer is 25. The square root of 840.97. Park it at 841.29. Know your squares up to 30. And every root under 900 is already in your pocket. The third account, cube parking. The cube root of 1331 is 11. The cube root of 729 is 9. The cube root of 216 is 6. Cubes up to 15. And every cube root the exam will ever print comes from this list. And the fourth account, neighbor squares, the squares just beyond the bank in one line. N plus 1 squared equals n squared plus n plus 1. So 41 squared, 1600 plus 40 plus 41, 1681. No multiplication, one breath. Let us take the first worked example, the plain arithmetic pike shape. 559.98 divided by 8.02 into 4.97 plus 1240.05, approximately what? Step 1. Round in one pass. 559.98 becomes 560. 8.02 becomes 8. 4.97 becomes 5. 1240.05 becomes 1240. Every move smaller than 0.5%, comfortably inside the budget. Step 2. Now class 9's ladder runs silently. Division and multiplication, left to right. 560 divided by 8, 70. Then 70 into 5, 350. Step 3. Add 350 plus 1240, 1590. 3 friendly numbers, 0 paper. Step 4. The answer. The exact value is about 1587. We missed by just 3 in 1590. Roughly 0.2%. Option space 50 apart, absorb that easily. Pick the option nearest 1590 and move on. The second worked example, the percent of shape. And here there is only one rule. Every percent becomes a fraction. 39.97% of 649.9 plus 59.9% of 449.9 minus 99.98, approximately what? Step 1. Round, one pass. 39.97 becomes 40%. 649.9 becomes 650. 59.9 becomes 60%. 449.9 becomes 450. 99.98 becomes 100. 10 seconds, and the whole expression has become a friend. Step 2. The first percent becomes a fraction. 40% is 2/5. 2/5 of 650, 260. Notice, no multiplication happened. The fraction simply cut the number. Step 3. The second percent. 60% is 3/5. 450 divided by 5 is 90. Into 3, 270. Finish before the pen cap comes off. Step 4. The answer. 260 plus 270 minus 100, 430. Pick the option nearest 430 and notice that the percent fraction table carried all the weight, not you. The third worked example, the roots and powers shape, where every ugly number parks under a perfect neighbor. The square root of 840.97 into 5.98 plus 9.02 squared minus the cube root of 1330.9, approximately what? Step 1. Park 840.97 goes under 841. The root is 29. 5.98 becomes 6. 9.02 becomes 9. 1330.99 goes under 1331. The cube root is 11. The anchor bank answers before you even ask. Step 2. Multiply. 29 into 6, 174. Straight from the tables. No working shown, because no working exists. Step 3. The square. 9 squared, 81. 174 plus 81, 255. Step 4. The answer. 255 minus 11, 244. The nearest option wins. 3 frightening operations: a root, a square, a cube root. And not one of them was actually computed. Now, the shortcut layer, the estimation toolkit. Tool 1, the 10% ladder. 10%, shift the point 1 place. 5%, half of that. 1%, shift the point 2 places. Now any percent builds in 3 ranks. 34.9% of 799.8, that is 35% of 800. 10% is 80, so 30% is 240, plus 5% which is 40, 280. Tool 2, pair adjusted division. 2,489 divided by 4.98, nudge both gently upward. 2,500 divided by 5, 500. When the top and the bottom move in the same direction, the ratio stays honest. The rule from slide 4, now sharpened into a weapon. Tool 3, neighbor squares. N plus 1 squared equals n squared plus n plus n plus 1. 41 squared is 1600 plus 40 plus 41, 1681, and it works downward too. 39 squared is 1600 minus 40 minus 39, 1521. And the master rule: which tool, when? Options far apart, round hard. Options tightly packed, stay semi-exact. And if there is no approximately flag at all, it is a simplification question. Calculate, do not estimate. Now the traps the examiner has worked hardest on. The minus 0.25 baits. Trap 1, 24.5 into 19.5. Rounding both up to be safe, 25 into 20, 500. The exact value is 477.75, and 500 is sitting in the options, freshly painted, waiting for you. The shield, in a product, balance the directions. If 24.5 went up to 25, bring 19.5 down to 1925 into 19475, a whisker from the truth. And remember, division is the opposite house. There you move both the same way. Trap 2. Judging the rounding by its size, not its percent. Turning 4.5 into 5 looks like just half a unit, but it is an 11% error. And the moment it multiplies with 1198, that error drifts 600 away, straight into the lap of a wrong option. The shield, measure every rounding in percent, stay near 2%. Small, ugly numbers deserve the gentlest touch. If a factor is tiny, leave it exactly as it is, and round its partner instead. Error is counted in percent, not in pays. Now the clocks chapter, speed and selection. First, the budget. 20 to 30 seconds per approximation question, and 3 to 5 such questions inside the simplification block of every prelims. A minute saved here buys an entire data interpretation set later. Second, options first, always. That 3-second read sets your rounding depth before you even touch the expression. Far apart, hard, tightly packed, gentle. Third, the magnitude check. Count the digits before you mark. 560 divided by 8 into 5. The answer lies in the hundreds, not the thousands. One glance, and every off by 10 option dies on the spot. And the master rule, attempt order. Bank these along with simplification in your first 3 minutes. Show marks before puzzles. That is not grade, that is strategy. Now it is your turn. 4 Pike-style questions, target 2 minutes. Pause the video at each question, and before the green ink appears, say the anchors out loud. Which number parks where? Question 1, 799.98 divided by 39.9 into 24.98 approximately. The anchors, 800, 40, 25. 800 divided by 40, 20. 20 into 25, 500. Question 2, 66.6% of 899.9 plus 33.3% of 300.6 approximately. Fractions, 2/3 of 900 is 600, plus 1/3 of 300 is 100, 700. Question 3. The cube root of 215.89 into 25.02 approximately. pocket under 216. The cube root is 6 into 25, 150. And question 4, 15.97 squared plus 24.9% of 799.8, approximately 16 squared is 256 plus 1/4 of 800 is 200, 456. All 4 right? Your eye now sees the anchor before the number. Missed one? Just walk back to that slide. The path is right there. Now sit up straight. The 5 lines of today. If this one slide stays with you, the whole class stays with you. 1. Read the contract. The approximately flag plus wide options is permission to round. Tight options or no flag at all. Calculate. 2. 4 rules. The nearest friendly anchor within about 2%. 1 pass. Balance directions in multiplication. Same direction in division and never overround. 3. The weapons turn every percent into a fraction. The 10% ladder, pair adjusted division, and park every root under a perfect square or cube. 4. Judge every rounding in percent, not in size, and run the digit count magnitude check before you mark. 5. The speed note, 20 to 30 seconds per question, 3 to 5 per prelims. Bank them with simplification in the first 3 minutes. And now, the whole class on one card. Take a screenshot. First block, the contract. The approximately flag is an invitation to round. The spacing of the option sets the depth, and no flag means no rounding. Second block, the rules. The nearest friendly anchor within 2%. Round once, in one pass. Products balance directions. Divisions move together. 798 is 800, never 1000. Third block, the weapons. The 25% is 1/4 family. The 10% ladder. 2489 divided by 4.98 becomes 2500 divided by 5. The square root of 841 is 29. The cube root of 1331 is 11. 41 squared is 1600 plus 40 plus 41. And the last block, the traps. Same direction stacking in products. Percent blind rounding. Turning 4.5 into 5 is 11%. This card plus class 9's card, the fastest marks block in prelims. So, batchmate, today approximation stopped being a guess and became a system. First read the contract, the flag and the spacing of the options. Then round in a single pass to friendly anchors, balance the directions, and let the options absorb the whisker of error that remains. Keep class 9's ladder beside it, and the entire speed block of prelims, simplification plus approximation, sits in your fist. And remember what this chapter really is. It is not a chapter of labor. It is a chapter of permission. The examiner personally allows you to round. You only need to know how to read that permission. In the next class, we take on the examiner's favorite puzzle, number series, finding the pattern that was deliberately hidden, missing number and wrong number both. If today's class taught your eye to see the anchor first, do subscribe to the channel so the next class reaches you on its own. One monk, every mark. See you in class 11.